Welcome back to the deep dive. We're diving into Bodo Schaefer's The Road to Financial Freedom this time, uncovering those secrets to achieving lasting financial independence. We've gone through all your notes and highlighted sections. It's been quite a journey, and we're ready to unpack the most impactful takeaways, especially for you.
Sounds good. You know, it's interesting because Schaefer, he doesn't mess around with those get-rich-quick schemes you see everywhere, you know what I mean? It's about building a healthy relationship with your money and a solid foundation,
Yeah.
which really resonated with a lot of the notes I noticed.
Absolutely, yeah. Schaefer argues that those limiting beliefs we have, like thinking, oh, I'm just not good with money, can actually, sabotage us.
Yeah.
It can sabotage our financial success in the long run.
It's like we're telling ourselves these stories, holding us back, you know?
Totally. And
Yeah.
it's so common too, right? But Schaefer, he challenges us to confront those beliefs head on. He says financial freedom, it starts with really believing it's possible for you, not just anybody, for you specifically. What was that like for you when you first read that?
Honestly, it was a real aha moment. It's about shifting from that scarcity mindset to one of possibility, right? But it's not just like thinking positive thoughts all the time. It's about really understanding and addressing those financial anxieties so we can build a more empowered relationship with money.
That's a really good point. Speaking of empowerment, Schaefer is such a big advocate for setting clear financial goals. He says those vague aspirations like, I want to be rich, they just don't cut it. They're not specific enough.
He's all about those specific, measurable goals. You know, with a clear timeline,
Yeah.
it could be saving for that down payment in 5 years or even aiming for early retirement. Having that clarity is so crucial.
It's like, when you set out on a road trip, if you don't have a destination in mind, you're just driving around aimlessly.
Exactly.
Schaefer also talks about breaking those big goals down into those smaller, more manageable milestones.
So key for staying motivated, right?
Yeah.
Every milestone you hit, it just reaffirms you're on the right track.
Keeps you going.
Exactly. It fuels you to keep going, tackle the next one.
Momentum.
Yes. Building that momentum, celebrating those small victories.
I love it. Now that we're talking about setting these goals, how do we actually reach those milestones? And more importantly, how do we not derail our progress? Schaefer is a huge proponent of building that financial cushion.
Like that emergency fund everyone keeps talking about.
Exactly, like a safety net.
He suggests starting with saving at least 10% of your income, even if it seems small at first.
Yeah, those small amounts add up over time, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about establishing that muscle memory of saving consistently. And as your income grows, you can gradually increase that savings rate too. This cushion, it acts as a buffer for any unexpected expenses that life throws your way. But it also reduces that anxiety of living paycheck to paycheck.
I feel that.
You know?
For sure.
It allows you to approach your financial decisions with a clear head, knowing you have that safety net to fall back on.
For sure, for sure. And it's not just about saving, though. Schaefer also says that we should be making our money work for us, right? Through the magic of compound interest.
He calls it the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. You're essentially earning interest on your interest, creating a snowball effect over time.
It's wild.
Right.
I love how he uses that example. You invest, say, $10,000 with a 7% annual return. After a year, you made $700 in interest. Not bad. But then in year 2, you're earning 7% on $10,700. Not just that initial investment anymore.
Exactly. It might not seem like much at first, those small gains, but over decades, that snowball, it turns into a mountain.
It really highlights the importance of starting early, letting time work its magic.
Exactly. It's the long game, riding out those market fluctuations, trusting the process.
Trusting the process, being consistent, and that long game strategy, it resonates with another one of Schaefer's big points, diversifying your income streams.
Oh, absolutely.
He does not want you to put all your eggs in one basket.
He's all about exploring those different avenues, side hustles, investments, real estate, anything that can bring in that passive income.
Which I think is so interesting, right? Especially for our listeners who are very entrepreneurial, always want to learn new skills.
Absolutely. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Freelance writing, graphic design, online tutoring. You could even do something as simple as renting out that spare room.
Right. So many options.
And that ties in perfectly with another of Schaefer's principles, investing wisely. He really encourages us to understand those different avenues for investing, like stocks, bonds, real estate, to make more informed decisions.
Right, to really understand what you're getting into.
Exactly. It's about taking ownership,
Yeah.
right? Schaefer, he doesn't want us just blindly following trends. He wants us to understand where our money's going.
Yeah, definitely. It's about being educated and not just like going with the flow.
Absolutely. Finding that balance, not being so conservative that your money's barely growing, but also not being too risky. It's a delicate dance.
It is. Speaking of balance, let's talk about spending, because Schaefer's not saying, like, live this life of deprivation, right? He doesn't want us,
Not at all. He's all about aligning your spending with your values and goals.
which I like.
He wants us to really ask ourselves, does this purchase truly add value to my life, or am I just caught up in the moment? You know?
Totally. It's about mindful spending.
Exactly.
Talks about tracking your expenses for a while
Yeah.
to see where your money's actually going.
You might be surprised too.
You always are.
There are all those little recurring expenses, maybe that daily latte. They seem insignificant on their own. But over a year, that's a significant chunk of change.
It adds up so quick.
It really does.
Wow.
It's about awareness, recognizing those spending patterns, so you can make more conscious choices that align with those financial goals we talked about.
I like that a lot. Now, a huge part of aligning our finances is tackling, that dreaded D word, debt. What does Schaefer have to say about tackling debt?
He offers a very strategic roadmap, urging us to really prioritize those high-interest debts first, like credit cards. He loves the snowball method. Once those high-interest debts are manageable, you just roll those payments into the next debt. You gain that momentum.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Gaining momentum.
It's not just about the numbers, though, right? It's about reducing that stress and feeling in control of your finances.
Yes. That feeling of control is so important.
It really is.
Imagine that relief, too, when you're not weighed down by that high-interest debt.
Absolutely. It's empowering.
Feels good. Now, Schaefer doesn't just focus on, the practicalities, right? He also emphasizes that investing in yourself is just as crucial as investing in your portfolio.
Oh, 100%.
What does he have to say about that?
He's a big believer in personal growth. Acquiring new skills, attending a workshop, even just reading more.
Yeah.
It all contributes to your financial success.
I love that.
You're constantly evolving, becoming more valuable. It opens doors to new opportunities.
It really does. And with all of this amazing advice, it can be overwhelming. Where do you even start?
Right.
That's where Schaefer's emphasis on creating a financial plan comes in.
Yes. He's all about putting it all down on paper. Goals, strategies, timelines. It's like your personalized roadmap to financial freedom.
I love that.
Having that plan, it creates clarity.
Yes.
And it holds you accountable. It makes sure that your daily actions are actually in sync with your aspirations.
I think that's so key.
Right. And it needs to be flexible because, well, life throws curveballs. Being adaptable is so important.
Totally.
Yeah.
And he also talks about having a financial mentor, someone who's been there, done that. What do you think about that?
It can be incredibly beneficial to have someone who's walked that similar path, to offer their guidance, their support, someone to help you navigate those challenges and stay motivated.
Yeah, it's like having a seasoned hiker guiding you on this new terrain, right?
Exactly. But sometimes finding a personal mentor, it's not always feasible. Schaefer says you can still get that mentorship. You can draw inspiration from biographies, study the journeys of successful people, even just joining online communities, finding your people.
Finding your group.
Exactly.
People support you.
Surround yourself with positive influences and support.
I love it. Now, shifting gears a bit to what I find so inspiring, Schaefer's whole philosophy on generosity. It might seem a bit counterintuitive, right, when you're discussing financial freedom, but he has a whole chapter on generosity.
He does.
Why is that so important to him?
Well, he emphasizes that true wealth, it goes way beyond just accumulating money.
Oh.
It's about aligning your finances with your values and then using your money to actually make a positive impact on the world.
What does he mean by aligning your finances with your values?
He's talking about finding causes you're passionate about, supporting local businesses, or even being generous with your time and skills. Because giving back, it creates this sense of purpose, a feeling of fulfillment that just material possessions simply can't replicate.
Right. You're not going to find that buying a new car.
Exactly. Abundance isn't a finite resource. It actually multiplies when you share it with others.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
And that really brings us to the heart of Schaefer's message, doesn't it?
It really is.
It's not just about, reaching a certain net worth, but about creating that life where your finances, they actually fuel your values, your aspirations, all of that.
And recognizing that it's not a finish line, it's a continuous journey.
Right, it keeps going.
It's all about growth and learning and evolving.
And changing, adapting, all of it.
Exactly.
Like you said, life throws those curveballs.
It really does.
Schaefer, He gives us so much. It's like a treasure trove, really.
Yeah.
Practical advice, but also those thought-provoking insights.
He does a good job of balancing the two.
He really does.
It's about empowering anyone to take control, to create a life that they really want, a life of abundance.
Yes. And it's about that shift, too, right?
Yeah.
From feeling like limited by your finances to seeing the potential, seeing all the
And
opportunity.
generosity.
Yes. That's a big part of it, too.
It really is.
It's not just about hoarding all the money.
It's about realizing that financial freedom, it's possible for everyone.
If you're willing to do the work,
Exactly. Put in the effort. Embrace the journey.
align it with your values, like we were talking about.
That's what it's all about.
It's about creating a life, right?
Mhm.
Where money, it's not this source of stress anymore. It's a tool.
Exactly.
You use it to build the life you want. You use it to make a difference.
That's the goal.
And on that note, I think, that wraps up our deep dive into Bodo Schaefer's The Road to Financial Freedom. We covered a lot today,
We did.
but hopefully this episode has given you those valuable insights, those actionable steps, to get you started on your own path.
To financial independence.
Exactly. And remember, every journey, no matter how big, starts with that single step,
You got this.
and we'll be here to cheer you on every step of the way. Until next time.